Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week's he's a dramatic and comedic romance, Licorice Pizza, hitting store shelves, along with the sci-fi action thriller Infinite, a little bit of Scream Factory 4K love with the 1981 John Carpenter classic Escape from New York, and the Witches Gone Evil classic, The Craft. However, that's not the only 4K love, because we also have one of the best Eddie Murphy sequels of all time getting the 4K upgrade treatment with Beverly Hills Cop 2. And Vestron Video is releasing a collector's edition release of the action westerner Extreme Justice, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are the first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and look, they still are pretty well stocked, aren't they? They definitely are, with a lot of the past new release love and a wee bit of the more recent goodness. I mean, come on, who's up for a little bit of Walmart actionier love, right? With Infinite, the DVD for $14.96, the Blu-ray digital for $17.96, and that old reliable 4K love, 4K digital for $25.96. Ah, yes, another one of those exclusive streamings that finally gets a physical media release. Not half bad, man. And if you are a DVD lover or a 4K fan, you will definitely get a little bit of slippy action as well. Unfortunately, not for the Blu-ray, but hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Sure, why the hell not, man? Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, but it was originally a Paramount Plus exclusive only on streaming. Actually, it was supposed to come to movie theaters in like August of 2020, but because of, yeah, the coronavirus, basically they scrapped the plans and released it about practically a year later. I'm assuming the thinking behind that was, well, a lot of movie theaters are still closed because of corona. There's not many places open. We wouldn't get a lot of box office money. And why not make an exclusive on our Paramount Plus service? That way maybe we can get a few subscriptions out of this flick, if anything else. Sure, why the hell not? But after seeing the movie, I think there's other reasons. Oh, indeed I do, man. Who says you only live once? Well, if Wahlberg's lucky, he'll live forever. God help us all. Oh, man. He probably will. Let's be honest, man. That guy, he's got 9 lives like a motherfucker. He really does, dude. I mean, if anything, Wahlburgers is going to outlive us all. So there is that, man. So either way, the Wahlberg name will live on for a very long time, even in burger form. Never thought I'd ever say that one. Shit. But this movie, well, Wahlberg is back to play Evan McCauley. Yes, he plays this very disturbed guy who has what he assumes is a form of schizophrenia. He's losing his mind, he's deranged, and yet he doesn't really feel that way. It's almost like he's reliving his past lives over and over and over again. Like things that he shouldn't know, he does, like how he makes like this authentic Japanese sword out of nowhere, how he knows how to be a blacksmith, how he knows how to fight and do kung fu. Who knows? It could be past lives. He could be reliving them. He could be way more than just a crazy person. It could be destiny. Oh, it might indeed, man, because actually, truth be told, he's in between this war that is going on between the believers and the nihilists. One group wants to help humanity out, the other wants to destroy it. So now he's part of this big war that's going on, and one of the past lives is this guy who was this huge supreme believer that everybody loved and holds the key to an item that could either help humanity or destroy it. And so now Wahlberg is caught in between the loyalties, the struggles, the action, and the heroism all wrapped into one. Ah, indeed it is, man. But is it any good? And I'm going to be very honest with you and say it ain't that hot, guys. Damn it. I'm being honest with you. It really isn't. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I like Wahlberg. I think Chiwetel Ejiofor is really good in this movie. Like, yes, he's your typical predictable bad guy that wants to destroy the world and everything in it, evil intentions, but he actually kind of rises above being the typical bad guy. He's actually one of the bright spots about this movie. He's actually really good. Yeah, he chooses scenery, but he does a good job doing it, so I give him credit, man. But the main problem with his character of Evan is he's supposed to be disturbed. He's supposed to be on the edge of insanity and going into a psych ward and basically just ending his life and ending it all. And I look at Wahlberg and I'm like, I don't believe it. Like, I really don't. I mean, he's supposed to be this really mentally challenged guy, and I just don't buy Wahlberg in this role. He's too much of a pretty boy. I just don't buy him having these psychological episodes and being so deranged and disturbed. I'm like, I can buy you as this disturbed individual? Okay, yeah. I can really buy that. Yeah. I can buy him more as going after Pirate's Gold than I can actually him being disturbed. And that's saying a lot, baby. It really is. The problem is Wahlberg doesn't really do a great job with this movie, man. He's just kind of going through the motions. Yeah, he's doing an okay job of being the action hero, I suppose, but even that sort of seems like he's just kind of like there, and some people are sort of doing their job to make him look good, but he's not really trying all that much, which really sucks. I mean, the action is okay here. Everybody else kind of does a good job at trying to lift up Wahlberg and lift up the performances and actually make it kind of exciting, but because Wahlberg's the lead, you kind of rely on him as an actor to carry you through, and you just don't care because you kind of feel like Wahlberg doesn't give a shit. And that's a real goddamn shame, man. It really honestly is. And the other problem is the movie is just so mundane. With mundane characters, you don't ever get to really know a single person. You don't really get to care about them or their backstories about who they were or who they are. And you're just going from one crazy, weird, ridiculous, over-explained scenario after another. And it's so bad. At the beginning of the movie, they go out of their way to explain the believers and the nihilists and the war between them. And then later on, they have to explain it yet again because they're like, wait a minute, we can't believe the audience is smart enough. So we have to re-say it again so that people get how ridiculous this fucking premise is, man. I mean, my God. It just doesn't really have much entertainment value to it. I mean, it's okay for what it is, the ultimate one, the savior of humanity. We've seen that shit a time or two, haven't we? We really have. And it's been done better in other movies. I hate to say it, but it's the honest truth. I like Wahlberg, okay, but he's really miscast in this movie. I wish it would have been somebody who you could believe is disturbed and mentally challenged and then learns that he's not as disturbed and not as crazy as people might think he is. And he learns to become the action guy. He learns to become the hero and step up to the plate. You don't buy that with Wahlberg. You know where this is going. Wahlberg is a buff dude with big muscles, and you know how it's all going to turn out, man. There is no surprises here. There is no really great, like, oh my God moments. I wish there was. I mean, some of the fight scenes are okay, I suppose. And as I said, the only real bright spot in this movie is Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is really doing a great job as being, yes, a predictable bad guy, but chewing up the scenery in a great way. But Wahlberg is so mundane here that you just don't give a shit. And everybody else around him is doing the same goddamn thing. They're trying to be very, very stoic and, you know, very, very dramatic and serious. And it just comes off as dry and flat overall. I mean, it's an interesting idea, an interesting premise that, if explored the right way, could be really cool, but not like this, man. It just felt like they just brought Wahlberg in here because it's motherfucking Wahlberg, right? He's a name, and so why not just do that, right? Yeah, it's just not very good, man. It's basically a paycheck movie for Wahlberg, and it's an interesting idea of another, like, savior for humanity, but, man, just watch the fucking Matrix, dude. Seriously. That's all you really need. Infinite, yeah, it's like an hour and a half, hour 40-minute time waster, but that's all you're really getting, which is a goddamn fucking shame, dude. I've seen Wahlberg in better. I've seen better sci-fi premises. It's just a tired trope that has been done too many fucking times, man. And it's just kind of like a bore fest. I mean, the time went by fast, but I was never really invested in anything, the characters or anything like that. And I just walked away like, like, it was fine. I can see why it didn't make it into the movie theaters. Like, seriously, this thing would have flopped hard. At least it being an exclusive on a streaming service, maybe it's somewhat saved face, but once you see the movie, you realize that, yeah, Wahlberg's good, he works out, he trains, but you need to actually convince me of you being an action hero for me to actually believe that you can pull the shit off. You've got the muscles, but the personality, yeah, not so much, man. Not so much indeed. Damn shame, but it really is the truth, man. Who says you only live once? Let's hope this movie only lives one lifetime and that's it, because any more would be a goddamn fucking shame to humanity, seriously. And nobody should be exposed to this a second time over. Nobody. Well, what do we have here? A little bit of indie love for the first Walmart? Not bad with Boone. Don't fuck with Neil McDonough. Damn right, for $12.96. Not bad, look at that. Oh, even Tommy Flanagan is in here. I like him too as an actor. Two solid actors, and looks like a ruthless action thriller, maybe? What's this about? Mercenary Nick Boone is trying to atone for his life as an enforcer for a ruthless syndicate. Running from his past, Boone moves to a remote area in the Pacific Northwest where he meets a struggling widow and her son. When he finds the pair living in fear of a criminal kingpin, Boone realizes the only way to protect them is to do what he does best, kill. Damn right. Coming out of retirement and ridding the world of more bad guys one by one. Like that, baby. If you really think about it, man, we have a lot of aging action stars that go out of their way to rid the world of a lot of evil scumbags. I mean, now, Liam Neeson alone, man, that body count is epic. It is, and rising, by the way. But add Neil McDonough to that, ooh, the count just got bigger. Oh, indeed it did, man. Damn, that's kind of cool, actually. I love Neil McDonough, man. He's so great as an actor. He's played great evil scumbags and some cool heroes, dramatic work. He's a really solid actor, and so is Tommy Flanagan as well, man. Really great. I'm liking that, man. And is it bad to say that I actually believe Neil McDonough as an action star more than I do Wahlberg? That's saying a lot, man. It really honestly is. But I'll take Neil McDonough any day over Wahlberg, baby. Any day of the week. Come on now. Neil McDonough is just that damn good. And man, I buy him as one hell of a badass motherfucker. I really do. Cool. It's probably a really great little tense thriller with dramatic undertones to it. Not bad, and perhaps a new bad guy with future sequel possibilities? I doubt it, but hey, one movie where Neil McDonough gets to kick ass and beat the shit out of people and kill a bunch of bad guys? I'm kind of down for that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely down for that shit, man. Not bad at all. A little bit of indie love, a little bit of Wahlberg new release madness as well. Not bad. Not all the physical media new release love this week, but just enough. Not bad at all. Let's head out. Not bad this week? Not bad, all things considered. I mean, yes, it could have been a wee bit better. I mean, they don't have all the new release love that I was hoping they might have, but then again, this is the first Walmart. We have seen the lowest of lows at this place, so even if we only got a little bit, well, I guess you kind of got to give them some credit, right? Sure, why the hell not, man? I'll take what I can get with this place, that's for damn sure. Even a little bit, it goes a long way, trust me, it definitely does, man. So not half bad, all things considered, for what it is. And hey, we got a little bit of sci-fi Mark Wahlberg weirdness. Sure, I'll take it. I will indeed, man. Hope you will too, but there is more new release love to check out. hopefully it is out there. So how about we go and give it another shot at another location. All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something. So, David Cronenberg has a new film coming out very soon, doesn't he? Ah, yes, good old body horror Cronenberg. And he's doing the interview rounds now, and he has an opinion on Netflix. They're really conservative. Really? Okay, let's dive in, shall we? On the eve of the Cannes Film Festival, director David Cronenberg sat down with Variety to discuss his latest film and the difficulty of financing independent cinema in the modern age. When Cronenberg was kickstarting his career in the mid-70s, the Canadian government was helping to fund his films during what's known as the country's tax shelter era. Shivers, Rabid, The Brood, and Scamps were all financed through the 100% capital cost allowance tax shield. This meant that any investors could deduct 100% of the amount they sunk into feature films from their income tax as long as the films were 75 minutes long. 2/3 of the production team was Canadian and 75% of the production team occurred in Canada. It was a golden era for Canadian filmmakers who were attempting to compete with American productions, and these days it appears to be harder for even a big name like Cronenberg to get financial backing. It took 3 years for the director to get financing for Crimes of the Future. It's a fight, it's a struggle, and it changes. Right now, if you're doing a film with Netflix, then you don't have to worry about money because Netflix has a lot of it. Cronenberg explained to Variety, but if you're doing an independent film and you don't have Netflix, then it's a struggle. And Cronenberg was in fact interested in working with Netflix. The director was previously working on a series titled The Shrouds for the streamer that ended up not coming together. I was disappointed because I was interested in streaming in cinematic terms. It turns out that it's not so easy to get a series with Netflix. In fact, it seems that it might be easier to get an independent film made if it's a certain type. I'd say maybe a film that isn't the conservative kind of movie as Netflix would like. He ends up going on to say, I really was very interested in the whole Netflix streaming phenomenon, definitely, but I think that they're still very conservative. I mean, I think they're still like a Hollywood studio. I thought maybe they would be a bit different. The difference is that Netflix can show very interesting streaming series from Korea, from Finland, and they say it's a Netflix original, but it isn't really. It's something they have acquired, but I think when it comes to their actual production that they do themselves, they're very conservative. I think they think in mainstream terms. That's my experience with them anyways. Is it indeed? Well, sad to say that unfortunately Cronenberg is not going to work with Netflix anytime soon, and that probably would have been a match made in heaven if they were able to actually pull it off. But Cronenberg's got some weird ideas that Netflix don't want to hear it. But is Netflix right in this, or is Cronenberg right? Because to say that Netflix is really conservative, I don't know if that's entirely true, right? I mean, he is right in saying that a lot of the Netflix originals, right, things that we consider Netflix originals aren't really Netflix originals, man. You think of a lot of the Korean stuff out there, a lot of the foreign stuff that they have on their streaming platform. That's not stuff that they did themselves. That's stuff that they acquired from other distributors and brought to America. Which, by the way, I'm not complaining. That's really great that they brought some of that stuff to a wider audience. It's cool to experience that and bring it to a bigger amount of the masses, right? I can't complain about that. At the same time, he actually isn't wrong, because if you look at the true Netflix originals, they're not really Netflix originals exactly. I mean, they're originals as in Netflix is producing them, but they're not going as far in storytelling as they possibly could. It kind of feels like Netflix doesn't want to alienate anybody. Like, they don't want to really, like, get under anyone's skin, or they don't want to ruffle any feathers enough where people's going to leave their platform. I mean, unfortunately, that's already happening anyways with price hikes and certain availability of movies and TV shows, things that are there 1 minute and go away the next. So, unfortunately, they're already losing a lot of people anyways, but they don't want to make content that's going to make people want to leave the platform anymore. And I think Cronenberg wants to be more bold with his storytelling. I think he wants to be somebody that pushes the boundaries of filmmaking, of cinematic quality, and he sees streaming as an opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, there's not many places for you to do that if you really think about it. I mean, Disney's not going to do that, right? Disney's not going to work with Cronenberg and do some weird shit. Hulu probably is not going to do that, man. Maybe Paramount or Peacock, maybe. But even that, I highly doubt it, man. These are mainstream sites that have to keep a certain amount of mainstream content that people want to see and want to see over and over and over again. And Cronenberg's not exactly the most mainstream guy in the entire planet, okay? And he is right. Look, if you want something unique and you want to get it onto a platform, it's really only Netflix that is really doing it at this point. I mean, they are the ones that have the money and the cash to do it and could have the balls to actually pull it off. Unfortunately, they don't really want to go there. I mean, yes, you could argue that they've had certain shows that have potentially pushed the limits, I'd say, but again, they're not Netflix originals. They're stuff that they've acquired from other countries. And so Netflix putting up their own money in that regard, that's a whole nother thing. So, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Cronenberg, and I understand that back in the day, being a filmmaker in like the 70s or the 80s is not the way it is now, right? Because when you were a filmmaker back in the day, I think backers were able to take a little bit more of a risk with you, and the return policy could probably be profitable at the end of the day, especially with like the VHS era and of course rental stores as well. So to me, I understand that times were different then. And I feel like nowadays, as I've told you guys many times before, these streaming platforms cannot fail. They are just too big to fail at this point. So much money has been put into them. And in order to do that, you can't make content that's going to alienate a certain fan base, right? You just can't do it. You have to market everything for the widest possible mass that you can. And Cronenberg is not that guy. He's never really been that guy. And I think he saw Netflix as a possibility to do something unique and different and outside the box, and perhaps do some unique storytelling ideas that is maybe not afforded to him on the big screen. And he found out that basically, if you're a streamer, you either appeal to the masses or you don't appeal at all. And that's just the honest truth about it. And it's not just Cronenberg. It's a lot of other filmmakers that are really feeling that way. Look, I love indie cinema, especially stuff from back in the day, the 80s and the 90s. And a lot of that indie cinema, unfortunately, would never fly nowadays, would never get the type of love on a Netflix or a Hulu or anything like that. Or if it did, it would be buried like a motherfucker. You'd never find it. It'd be an algorithm hell. So, unfortunately, nowadays, it is the major, huge blockbusters that are getting more love, not only in the theaters, but on streaming. So where does the indie films go? Where does these filmmakers go to tell really unique and interesting tales that they can't tell anywhere else? I mean, maybe physical media, but you'd need to get enough press and enough popularity to really feel that it's worth it and people are really going to buy it and find it. Nowadays, streaming is really one of the only places to do it, and a lot of those places are not even really interested. Or if they are, it's just there for content's sake, just to put it on a platform. It's really tough for filmmakers out there to do something different and unique and something that isn't the everyday norm. Cronenberg tries, I give him credit, and I can't wait to see what he does next, but it won't be with Netflix. It's a sad lesson to learn that basically, as an indie artist, as someone that does unique things, you really are on your own. And that's a sad state of affairs. It really honestly is. Definitely let me know what you think about that. Look, I love Netflix. I love these streaming platforms to a certain extent. But you have to admit that they're not out to make these indie films that no one's going to watch. They're out to make the big blockbuster extravaganza films because that's the only thing that's really making them money. And unfortunately, people like Cronenberg and a lot of other artists are just left behind. It's sad but true. Definitely let me know what you think about that. In the meantime, there is physical media love out there. Walmart kind of showed it. So what about Target? Well, hopefully they'll have a little bit more to show off. But how about we go in? Check it out. All right, everybody. We are in at Target, and, well, there's not as much as I thought there was going to be this week. I mean, there's literally only 2 things to show off. Still new release love, but not as plentiful. What's going on here? Am I living in the Twilight Zone? Well, regardless, we do have new release love to check out. I mean, they do have the Steelbook of Belle, the only at Target exclusive, for $24.99. I think I had seen Belle over at Walmart, but I didn't really think anything of it. But apparently it's one of the new releases, and they have the Steelbook Love. Not bad. I actually kind of like the design of that. That's pretty cool. Well, of course, as you guys know, I'm not really much of an anime fan, so I don't really know exactly what I'd be walking into, but it is kind of cool to see Target have some exclusive Steelbook goodness. And, oh, actually, it's from Shout Factory, too. Not bad. Huh. Suzu is a shy, everyday high school student living in a rural village for years. She has only a shadow of herself once she enters a massive virtual world. Oh, that could be really cool. Like the visuals and everything. Could be some stunning stuff. God, I've never gotten into anime a lot. And I know a lot of you guys are like, hey, it's never too late. And it is true. One of these days I'll definitely get into anime. I've only ever really dipped my toe into it. Like, I watched the Animatrix, but that's like the only main anime thing I've ever watched. I may have watched a few episodes of like Avatar, but that's about it. I definitely do have to dive into more. There is some amazing anime stuff out there that literally I would just be scratching the surface, but boy, I would be definitely interested to check it out. That is for damn sure, man. Is Belle worth it? Especially for Target exclusive Steelbook love? Well, for $25, that ain't half bad, man. You'll definitely have to let me know how good the anime love for Belle actually is. From anime to action in Infinite. The Blu-ray digital for $16.59. I guess we have to dive into more Mark Wahlberg sci-fi action, don't we? Apparently we do, man. Oh, why the hell not, dude? And let's talk about Mark Wahlberg for a second. But let's talk about Mr. Actioneer himself, Mark Wahlberg. He's done quite a few of them, hasn't he? I mean, Two Guns, Contraband, Mile 22, Shooter. One of my favorite ones that he did, The Italian Job. I love The Italian Job. It's fun. Incredibly entertaining, man. He is really good at action from time to time. Then again, it isn't all roses because, well, you remember, right? The Planet of the Apes reboot? Yeah. The Max Payne movie? Yeah. I know you tried to forget about it. And I just reminded you. I'm sorry. I really am, man. But let's be real. Those are 2 dogs. I actually don't know which one is worse. Well, actually, I do. It probably is Max Payne. Because at least with the Planet of the Apes thing, it's the apes. It's the sci-fi premise. I kind of like it. It distracts me from how shitty the movie actually is. So fine, whatever. But Max Payne is a really crappy video game adaptation. So yeah, it probably is the worst of the bunch, man. But you know, Wahlberg has had his ups and downs as far as an action star is concerned, but there's actually a couple of movies that I really like Wahlberg in that nobody ever talks about. One is the big hit from 1998. That is the first time that I ever saw Wahlberg as an action star, and it's really good. It's got Lou Diamond Phillips in it, Christina Applegate. Really fantastic film of this hitman, quirky dude who ends up kidnapping this chick and ends up falling for her and all the complications that go with it. It's a pretty fun and entertaining film, and I really dig that one. Quirky dialogue, quirky characters, unique action. Not a bad movie, actually, man. Wahlberg's pretty goddamn solid in it, but no one ever talks about it. It's kind of a forgotten movie, man. I mean, that one's a really fantastic one, but I'll also say The Corruptor. Do you remember that movie? With Chow Yun-fat, yeah. Dude, that's a great movie, man. Basically, these 2 cops team up together to take on, like, the Chinese triads or something. Like this evil gang of, like, like samurais or some shit. It's really good, dude. I really love that movie, man. Again, that's another one that just doesn't get talked about, but it's really solid. I mean, Mark Wahlberg is actually going more towards dramatic work than anything else, if you've noticed as of late. So he's not really doing as much action as he used to. He still does it from time to time, but not like back in the day, though. But if I'm being honest, he's never really been that great of an action star anyways. I kind of feel that he lucked into it because he was a hunky guy with muscles. He was basically the popular music beefcake guy, and Hollywood came calling and they gave him roles and he took them, and a lot of them worked out. And so he just kept on getting roles that ended up really paying off for him, and some of them happen to be good action roles. Who'd have thunk it? I just don't think that Mark Wahlberg is like the best action guy in the world. He's alright, he's serviceable, he's average. Sometimes he's really great, but for the most part, I've just liked him more in the dramatic stuff than I have the action. And sometimes I don't think he's really been huge into the action either, because look, dude, it's a lot of hours of training and fight sequences and being in front of the camera and getting your ass kicked over and over again. And I don't think Wahlberg is up for it. I don't think he ever really was, man. I mean, the early action roles, I kind of feel like he was really giving it his all. And now I just kind of feel like he's just there to sort of say a line and look buff and sort of get out of the way. That's kind of what I feel like now. I mean, it's the same thing with Uncharted, man. I mean, as much as I'm not a fan of the movie, I think Tom Holland really works his ass off way more than Wahlberg does in the role. I think Wahlberg is just kind of there, you know, to kind of flex a little bit and have his muscles ripped in a shirt and sort of, you know, collect the money. That's kind of what I feel like, man. And the same thing here. He's not really giving it his all the way I would hope he was. I mean, again, you have a guy who's supposed to be a schizophrenic, out of his mind, crazy lunacy, and Wahlberg just doesn't play it like that. He doesn't really care. I mean, he's there to be the action guy. That's what he's getting paid to do. And he shows up and he punches somebody a few times and, hey, I did my job. Look, some people are really committed to the action for years. I mean, you look at somebody like Keanu Reeves, man. That dude, even years later, is still really pushing his limits. Even somebody like Tom Cruise, man. You can really give Tom Cruise a lot of credit. But I just can't say the same for Wahlberg. He's good, he's decent. When he really tries, he really does. But as far as action is concerned, he just isn't what he used to be back in the day. You look at a movie like The Big Hit or The Corruptor, and then watch a movie like Infinite or Uncharted, and then tell me if he's still trying. Tell me. Because I guarantee you, you will agree with me. I guarantee it. I will honestly do it, man. Again, as far as action movies are concerned, this one doesn't really fit the bill. It's got some okay moments, but with quick editing and lazy storytelling and characters you don't care about, it just comes off as a bore. An interesting bore, but a bore nonetheless. Damn shame, but even my man Wahlberg can't save it. Well, maybe if he was eating a Wahlburger. Maybe then. Maybe. Maybe indeed, man, but that's all we get. I mean, we get infinite love and we get a little bit of anime goodness. Hey, that's all I'm seeing this week, which is weird, but hey, at least we got something, and I'll take it. Not bad. Let's head out. Now that was pretty damn impressive, wasn't it? Oh my god, all that new release love, exclusive goodness. Oh, nobody beats Tarjay. Said no one this week. Oh my god. Oh, here I was like, okay, there's a decent amount of physical media love. We're gonna get some good stuff this week at Target. And I'm like, only really getting Wahlberg. Why me? Look, I love me some Wahlberg, but I'd like a little bit more. I don't know, maybe a little bit of Paul Thomas Anderson indie goodness. We haven't seen that yet. I'd like to have seen that. Hell, maybe some 4K love as well. That'd have been pretty sweet, but no, not here. Not this week, of course not. I mean, hey, we still got a Steelbook exclusive, so you gotta love that, and a little bit of new release love, but it could have been a little bit better for Target. They kind of dropped the ball just a wee bit. Still, I can't complain. New release love is still new release love, and they still did their due diligence regardless, even though it's not as good as it should have been. Target, Target, Target. Hopefully you'll bounce back next week in a big bad way. Hopefully. You better. In the meantime, it is what it is, but I guess that's it for the physical media love here. Ain't much to show off, but hopefully the next place will be a little bit more plentiful. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles worth showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And my God, this is a respected artist. Somebody who has literally sweated for their work. They have done some amazing things, won some amazing awards. And now it's finally time to tell their story. Break out the accordion, because you're going to need it. In Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Holy shit. Damn overdue, in my honest opinion. Holy shit, it is. Wow, I was not expecting this. God damn. I love Weird Al. I really do, man. You know, I give Weird Al a lot of credit. I seriously do, because to take... I mean, some people would probably say, well, he just steals other people's works and, you know, does parody stuff and that's it. But I think it's much more than that. The fact that he's clever in his writing and his performing, and the idea that, yes, you're technically taking that song and redoing it with the same music and everything, but I think he's very unique in how he approaches it. And I've always thought that he's probably one of the best parody artists that has ever been out there in the history of the world. And, you know, when I've seen all these other biopics that have happened over the years, I've kind of thought to myself, yeah, when are we going to get a Weird Al one, right? Like, I'm thinking that guy has a really fascinating story, and yeah, a lot of people would just consider him a joke, but I think he's much more than that. I think he's a very competent artist that really takes a lot of pride in his work and has really struggled to be taken seriously in some way and fashion. And I want to see that story. Did I think Daniel Radcliffe was going to be the one to play it? No, but then again, I'm kind of intrigued like a motherfucker. When I see the trailer and he's got the wig on, he's got the stash, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, who the hell thought that Harry Potter was gonna become Weird Al, man? Ain't no one thought that shit, alright? But it looks like he's having a lot of fun playing this role, man. And why wouldn't he? Because Weird Al is such a over-the-top character anyways. And so it's just an excuse for Daniel Radcliffe to really just go wild and have a really fun time playing this character and just really make a meal out of it. And I can't wait for when he does that, because I think it'll be fun. I really do, man. And the fact that Weird Al, let's not forget, he actually handpicked Daniel Radcliffe to play this role. He absolutely did. So whether we like it or not, that's who Weird Al wanted. And so I'm willing to go with it, man. And it looks really fun. Again, it's just a small teaser, but it looks like he's just having a ball on stage, playing the accordion, you know, belting out the songs, doing the music videos. Like, that's the whole aspect, the whole persona, the whole larger-than-life aspect of Weird Al, and I'm really happy to see him having fun with it. On the other hand, I do want some dramatic stuff from him. I want to see the struggle and the pain of being an artist and being taken seriously. I do want to see that aspect and that side of that as well, but I just can't wait to see what Daniel Radcliffe does with this role. Daniel Radcliffe has, man, done some really unique and interesting films. You know, after Harry Potter, he could have went down this huge, like, blockbuster road of just doing these big projects that is just one blockbuster after another and not really caring and just doing stuff for a paycheck. He actually is very much an artist and wants to make unique artistic decisions as far as the films he's doing. And give him credit, man. I mean, don't think anyone would have ever saw this coming, but I'm willing to give Daniel Radcliffe a chance, man. I love Weird Al. I love the songs. I love the persona and the personality of Weird Al. And I think he is just a very interesting individual that I think it's way past due for him to get his own film, man. I mean, it's kind of interesting because it's not coming to movie theaters. It's coming on the Roku channel, which is so odd to me. I'm like, dude, put this out in a movie theater. I mean, literally, I would go. I'd see this on the big screen, man, but they're putting this straight on streaming. I mean, regardless, whether it's on streaming or the big screen, I'm going to watch it because I'm a huge fan. I love Daniel Radcliffe as an actor. I love Weird Al as a musician. Combine the two together, and this might be one of the weirdest but yet most entertaining movies of the year. I'm looking forward to it, man. I don't know what you think, but, man, The Boy Who Lived is putting on the accordion, and you've got to dig that. Oh, indeed you do, man. It looks cool, so I'm on board, man. I don't know about you, but definitely let me know. It should be pretty damn fun, regardless, right? It should be. At least I hope. Fingers crossed, man. Definitely let me know what you think about that. But in the meantime, will we have indie love this week? Well, let's hope. But the only way to find out is to go inside. So let's head in. Check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at the second Walmart, and it's been all right this week. Not bad, not as much as I was hoping we would see. Certain titles are kind of missing a bit, but I figured, well, if there's any place that's going to have some really great, weird titles, some unique indie love, it would be the second Walmart, right? Well, you'd think. We haven't had any indie love for 2 weeks, so this week, we can't strike out again, right? Well, I hate to admit it, but we're striking out again. I'm dead serious, guys. There is literally no indie love, no new indie love this week whatsoever. Hell, they don't even have the new release love out. Like Infinite, the Mark Wahlberg flick, yeah, they don't even have that here. So the first Walmart actually has more than the second Walmart does. Dude, that's a fucking shocker. That almost never happens. And yeah, this week is another strikeout. 3 strikes in a row. This has never happened. This is unprecedented. 3 weeks of no indie weirdness, indie bizarreness. So yeah, I guess yet another week where absolutely dry, no gold whatsoever. Let's hope next week proves a little bit better, but right now we're striking out big time, and let's hope that they can get back into the groove. But this week, nada, zippo, zilch, nothing. And I guess we'll have to see what next week shows us. Let's hope it's quite plentiful, because we need indie love in our lives. But second Walmart, well, they've decided that they're all tapped out, at least for the time being. So, well, on to the next store, the next experience, because this place ain't got jack squat. All right, everybody, we are at our 4th and final location. And on any physical media journey, you gotta go through a lot of hills and valleys, ups and downs, but eventually you'll reach the beast. Oh, indeed you will, and you definitely know where we are at, man. We are at none other than Best Buy, the Beast. Best Buy, baby. Oh, back yet again. Good old Best Buy. What will they have? Well, hopefully they have a little bit more than what we've seen as of late, man. We've seen a little bit here, a little bit there, but not everything that I was hoping for. But maybe we saved the best for last? Well, you never quite know with the Beast. There's been weeks, hasn't there? There definitely has been. Some very plentiful, some not so much. Some where we had to search for the physical media in a big bad way. What will this week have in store? God knows, but let's go in, find out. All right, everybody, we are in at Best Buy under the new releases, and look, they actually have new release movies out here on the shelves. I don't actually have to go on a cart and search for the shit. Wow, that's actually an improvement. Let's dive in, shall we, with a little bit of, oh yes, Infinite. The one movie that we can't get rid of, no matter what store we go to. The 4K digital for $21.99. Try as hard as we might, yeah, that ain't happening. Infinite is going to be staying with us. It's literally at every place. It's infinite. And that scares the living shit out of me. Oh, man. Oh, fair enough, but... You know, when it comes to Infinite, when it comes to movies like this, of course, you know the whole idea of the savior, right? Yes, the one that is going to save the day, the chosen one. It has been done in many movies, many iterations, and this is just yet another latest example of the savior that's going to save the day. However, it's not as good as some of the other ones out there. I mean, seriously, think about The Matrix. Neo, they literally called him the One, alright? He was literally trapped in a shell of this fake world and had to break free in order to find peace and save humanity. It was really great. The Wachowskis did a really great job of taking the savior idea and putting it into a very original sci-fi, dark, gritty world. I thought it worked incredibly well, man. I really honestly did. I thought they did aces with that. Then again, the sequels not so much. But hey, we'll always have that original, won't we? I mean, that isn't the only one, though, because there is The Boy Who Lived, Harry Potter. Yes, of course, he's got to be known as a savior, don't he? He definitely does, man. He had to find balance within the wizarding world and take out the evil once and for all. Ah, yeah, so good. The books are fantastic. The movies are wonderful. They are really, really a great example of doing a savior in a really great way that appeals to the masses. Fantastic. Love that. Of course, when we're talking about balance, of course, we have to talk about the prophecy of the Skywalkers. Yes, Luke Skywalker. Well, technically, if you're thinking about the prophecy, it's more Anakin than anything else, but it's more Luke. Come on. Mark Hamill's the man, all right? Star Wars is a really great idea of taking that savior idea and doing a really great sort of like Flash Gordon Star Wars blockbuster experience. It was really fantastic, man, and I thought George Lucas did it brilliantly, man. He really did. He took the storytelling ideas and mashed it in a really great way that included the adventure and the creature effects and really blended it all in the best way possible. Of course, there's also Hellboy, which technically is, you would say in some ways, a savior as well. I mean, they didn't outright say it, but he has the power to either cause destruction or help humanity. So yeah, I would definitely consider him a savior, and I like how they did it in a very sort of kitschy comic book way. I really appreciate that one. Of course, you have to look at Terminator with John Connor, and that was always a very interesting one because John Connor, yeah, I guess you'd call him a savior, but I do think it was more of the idea than actually the savior itself, because the idea of this one man bringing everybody together in order to defeat the machines, it was a concept, it was an idea more than it was an actual person. Yes, John Connor was a person within the franchise and the realm of the movies, but the full potential of that character was not really about him, it was about the concept of who he was and the hope that he ended up bringing to people because of who he actually was. I thought that was an interesting idea and an interesting concept that I thought they did okay with, but it wasn't perfect either. Kind of untapped potential a little bit in some of those movies, but I thought they did a good job overall with some of it. I mean, you could go on and say Lord of the Rings or The Hunger Games. I mean, Katniss was the catalyst for the revolution, so I suppose you could say that as well. I mean, there is a lot of ideas of the savior of cinema, the idea of the one that we pin our hopes and dreams, and the one that will bring it all to a conclusion, all to an end, so to speak. And this is yet another example of it, but I just wish it was better. I mean, it feels like it's aping off of The Matrix. I mean, way into The Matrix. I mean, there is literally moments in the movie where they are literally mimicking bullet time. I kid you not, dude. They seriously are. It felt bad. It felt like a little bit of Hellboy to me. It even felt like Wanted as well. It felt like they were really trying to ape off of Wanted. Certain sequences, that felt like it would be straight out of like the Wanted movie. Like I was waiting for like fucking Angelina Jolie to pop out or some shit. Like, whoa, man. I was waiting for some of that shit. But honestly, it feels like it's aping off of better movies. It takes a savior idea that's been done multiple times, but doesn't do it half as interesting or effective enough. And you don't have time to really get to know any of the characters or anybody. You literally are going from one action scene to the next, explaining the ridiculous plot over and over. And, you know, just having Mark Wahlberg say some quippy dialogue and then beat somebody up. Wow, look, I haven't seen that one a time or two, haven't I? Look, it could have been so much better. Technically, it could have been worse, too. But honestly, it's just kind of mundane and average. If you're looking for a savior movie, man, by all means, I can't say that I recommend Matrix Resurrections, but shit, I'd probably take Matrix Resurrections over this shit any goddamn day of the week. I ain't gonna lie, man. I really honestly would. It is what it is, man. This movie doesn't light the world on fire. I've seen better from Mark Wahlberg. I've seen better from certain saviors. This movie, let's just put it this way. It ain't saving nobody, and it certainly ain't saving cinema, and it sure as shit ain't saving Paramount Plus. That's for damn sure, man. I mean, you do get some special features here. The kinetic action of Infinite, they call themselves Infinite, Anatomy of a Scene. I mean, it's got moments, but unfortunately the problem is that the CGI is kind of messy, especially that end sequence where they're like flying in the air and shit. Like, that is really bad CGI, man. Oof, my God. That was kind of hot garbage, dude. For a big budget sci-fi flick, well, it might have had a big budget. I don't really know, dude, but it pretends like it's this big, sprawling epic of a film, and it doesn't really pull it off, man. I mean, as far as the charismatic hero thing goes, you're expecting Wahlberg to be that? Think again, man. Seriously, really think again. Hell, you get more charisma out of Vin Diesel's bald head than you ever do Wahlberg, man. And that is a shock to the system. Seriously, dude. Average at best. Time waster, kinda. But as far as one of those epic savior movies that is in the same ballpark as Harry Potter and Star Wars and the Terminator and all those jazz, honestly, it bows down to those movies. And honestly, bow down to the king, baby, because you ain't never, and I mean ever, going to be the king or a savior at all. Come hell or high water, these boys will get hunted down. In hell or high water, the 4K Blu-ray digital only at Best Buy exclusive steelbook for $19.99. Oh, it's great to see this. I knew it was coming out this week, but I didn't know whether Best Buy was actually going to have it or not. Because sometimes you luck out finding them, and other times, well, your luck kind of runs out. Ain't gonna lie, man. But this is great. This is a cool little looking steelbook, too. This is pretty sweet, man. And what a phenomenal movie, dude. Great flick about these brothers that rob this bank, and then Jeff Bridges is after them. So dramatic. The action is really great. Chris Pine is amazing here. Ben Foster, Jeff Bridges, dude. Jeff Bridges is badass anyways, man. He's fucking amazing. And this is yet another example of it. So good, tense, thrilling. The acting is amazing. I love this flick so much. This is so great, dude. If you have never seen Hell or High Water, my God, you really have to get on this, because it is really that damn good, man. No lie. And the steelbook love as well. That looks pretty damn sweet. Ain't gonna lie, man. That's pretty cool. And with the clear slip as well. Ooh, pretty sweet. And for $20, 4K steelbook love. It's hard to beat, man. Very hard to beat indeed. That's pretty cool, dude. Not bad. And some great special features as well. Hard to beat for a really great movie and steelbook love for $20. That's one that's definitely worth hunting down. Oh, indeed it is, man. Not bad. A little bit of Wahlberg love, Jeff Bridges badassness, steelbook goodness. Not bad so far, but what else do they have in store? And what they have is sequel gold, yes. The 4K digital 35th anniversary of Beverly Hills Cop 2 for $21.99, and I am jonesing, man, because I love this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Beverly Hills Cop. Classic. Love it, man. But I think I love Beverly Hills Cop 2 as much, if not more. I just really love it. It's basically everything that you love about the first film, but you get more of it. The jokes and the one-liners and the comedy, the buddy cop hijinks with the two uptight sidekicks. Like, you get all of that stuff and so much more, man. It's so great. The action is even better. The jokes are better. The villains are better. Like, it's just a great stylish sequel that is really fucking amazing, man. And I love this shit so much. The heat's back on. Oh, indeed it is, man. And Eddie Murphy is on fire here. I love Eddie Murphy in this. Him playing Axel Foley, at least the first couple of films, like, it is a match made in heaven. The action and the jokes and the style, it's almost like this role was built for Eddie. I mean, really, it is. And he fits perfectly in here. And it really is a great combo of his comedic stylings and the action and the hijinks all melding into a really great melting pot of comedic action gold. I mean, movies like Rush Hour are great, don't get me wrong, but if it wasn't for movies like Beverly Hills Cop, there wouldn't be a Rush Hour, and I'm dead serious on that, man. There's something about it that is just funny, and it never stops being funny. Yeah, some of the jokes might not age as well as others, but I've never thought that the movie aged bad. I always really still dug it, and I thought that, for the most part, it still works to this day as not only a movie, but the comedy itself. The characters are charming, they're quirky, the dialogue is memorable. Hell, Brigitte Nielsen as one of the bad guys. Long leg Brigitte Nielsen, man, going up against Eddie Murphy. That's fucking gold. That is awesome, dude. I love Judge Reinhold here. John Ashton is great. It's just a really great, entertaining sequel, man. And I can't say that every buddy cop movie gets a really great sequel. 48 Hours, the sequel is not bad, but it doesn't really equal the first one. Even Rush Hour 2, like, I like Rush Hour 2, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as good as the first Rush Hour, man. There's something about this one that really just holds up, and I think is just as equal to the first film. I mean, both of those back to back are comedy action gold. It honestly is. Now, the third film, yeah, less said the better, man. It ain't that good. Okay, it does not hold up at all, dude. It's a big old stinker. But the first two, man, are great, and this is one of Eddie Murphy's best films. It really honestly is. I love this film. I do. Eddie Murphy is classic in here, dude. Man, this was back in the day when Eddie was on fire as a performer, man. It's just that damn good. It really honestly is. I don't see any special features, though, on this. It's kind of crazy that there's no special features, not a commentary or featurettes, nothing. New interviews, well, hey, at least you get some Eddie Murphy gold on 4K, and that ain't half bad, man. Especially in his prime, that shit is pure gold. Oh, indeed it is. Beverly Hills gold, more like it. Oh, nice. The soundtrack is really awesome as well, man. This is like one of the best perfect sequels, in my opinion, of all time. I just love it so damn much, man. It gives you everything you want from the first film, more of it, and more Eddie Murphy hijinks, and he does it so goddamn well. I miss the good old days of Eddie Murphy. I really do. I still love Eddie to this day, but it'll never equal, like, this time period of Eddie. It's just so goddamn good, man. That is pretty goddamn sweet. Not half bad. So glad that they have Beverly Hills Cop 2 love. It's hard to say which one is better, Beverly Hills Cop or the sequel. Ooh, if I had to pick, I'd probably say the sequel. I don't know whether that's sacrilege or not, but that's just how I roll. Indeed it is. Pretty damn sweet, man, and pretty damn sweet indeed. Not bad stuff within the new release section. Pretty damn good overall. Let's see what else they have. And what we have is more physical media love to check out. And oh, I definitely appreciate it, baby. Let's dive in, because we start with a little bit of Liam Neeson goodness. The Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.99 of Blacklight. Now, I showed it off before in a previous video, and I just gotta say, look, Liam Neeson really hasn't been good since the Taken days, and I mean like the first Taken. Yeah. And this is more of the same old Liam Neeson average mundane action hero crap. I mean, retirement maybe? Yeah, I'm asking too much. I really am, dude. And I guess the same goes with Bruce Willis, huh? Yes, the Blu-ray of Day to Die for $13.99. Oh, yes. I figured I'd have to talk about this eventually, and now's the time. So I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I did it because, again, I continue to watch every single straight-to-DVD or Blu-ray Bruce Willis flick. I don't know why, dude. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm literally probably going to hell for this. So I figured, what the fuck? What's one more, man? I've tortured myself enough. Shit. From the executive producers of Hard Kill and Out of Death. Oh, you mean those great movies? Oh, this is gonna be great, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Think again, man. I mean, basically, it's about this group of guys that end up dealing with this hostage situation, and it all goes wrong. Lives are killed. A lot of mess that happens. Oh, wow. Later, he's basically just living his life. The military group is disbanded, and there's a drug bust that has gone terribly wrong. Somebody dies, right? And this drug lord, this big bad gang leader says, like, you fucked this up. You killed my earner, and now you have to pay. And so basically he's like, look, you owe me $2 million, and if you don't get it to me in 24 hours, your wife is dead. And Kevin Dillon's like, what? I don't even have $2,000. And he's like, you better get the money, or she's a goner. And basically he's trying to get the gang back together, steal some money, and hopefully save his wife's life before everything goes tits up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Dude, look, I wasn't expecting much out of this movie because it's a straight to DVD or Blu-ray Bruce Willis flick, alright? What do you expect? I've seen enough of that shit, so I know what I'm in for, and basically I was right on the money, okay? I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest, Bruce Willis ain't that fucking hot in this movie. He's very mundane, very boring. I get it, right? Because with his aphasia diagnosis, it's not like he's actually putting in a performance. It's more of just trying to remember his lines. He's barely in the movie as it is. I mean, he plays this sort of elected official that's helping out the gang leader and the drug trade, and so he's just as corrupt as everybody else is, apparently, and he's just trying to manipulate the system. It's okay for what it is. He doesn't light the world on fire, but he ain't the worst thing about the movie. Frank Grillo's kind of cool. He's badass. Then again, look, it's Frank Grillo. He's pretty much badass in everything he does, so what do you really expect? I mean, come on, man. Frank Grillo's fucking amazing. The bad part about this movie, other than the fact that it's really cheap and the action blows, is Kevin Dillon. Oh, man, Kevin Dillon, dude. Man, he tries to come off as badass. And yeah, there's moments where he's trying to be desperate, and I kind of like those moments, but the moments where he's trying to be like, you know, I'm one badass dude, I'm gonna take this guy down, I'm like, I can't believe it. I don't buy it for a single second. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of, like, a little kid on the playground trying to intimidate somebody. And all I'm thinking is like, dude, just have your juice box and sit the fuck down, will ya? I mean, come on, man. He's so ineffective here, man. He can't really pull it off to save his life. And him being the lead in this film, it didn't really help whatsoever. It really didn't. I mean, Frank Grillo is more badass. Hell, I will take a mundane Bruce Willis over this motherfucker any goddamn day of the week. Seriously, man. I mean, even if he can't remember his lines, hell, he's way more of a talented actor than Kevin Dillon will ever be in his fucking life. I mean, if he doesn't have a mullet and not fighting a blob-like creature, shit, I don't want to hear about it. I mean, come on, man. God damn, dude. It just is not that great. And even the bad guy is just sort of laughable. He's not really all that intimidating or scary. I'm not terrified of this guy. I'm not thinking to myself like, oh my God, is he really gonna kill the wife? Like, you know she's gonna get rescued. You know they're gonna save the day. I mean, come on, dude. It's predictable as a motherfucker, man. It really is. But the dialogue is mundane. The action is not really all that exciting. And the way they try to make it exciting is try to put like a lot of rap music in the background. Like they'll, yeah, yeah, yo, we badass motherfucker, yo. And it's like, damn, does that work? Do people actually buy this shit? I'm like, what the fuck? It just is trying to pretend to be badass in every single aspect, and it's just not working out. Even the military team, when they come back together, other than Frank Grillo, which I can buy as a total badass, like everybody else, I'm like, dude, seriously? It looks like you're just holding a gun for the first time, man. Damn. I mean, maybe start with Super Soakers and work your way up the ladder? Yeah, it doesn't work, man. It really doesn't. It just comes off as boring, and that's what it does ultimately. And yet another problem with the movie is the fact that it's an hour and 41 minutes. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, right? What's actually the problem with it being an hour and 40-something minutes, right? Wouldn't that be a good thing, considering that it should be a breeze of a watch? It should be easy and not that much of a torture? Yeah, about that. It's anything but, guys. I'm serious. I mean, the problem here is that after the first hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, at that point, there's not much left to do in the movie. The movie kind of spins its wheels for another half hour. I'm dead serious. Like, all the good parts of the movie, well, there isn't many good parts anyways, but whatever there was left, yeah, there wasn't much else. It felt like basically it was like a half hour too long. Literally, if it was like an hour and 10 minutes, I probably would be praising it a little bit more, because I wouldn't have to sit through an extra half hour of bullshit in order to actually finish the goddamn thing. I don't know, man. It's just a lot of stupid character drama and a lot of cheesy dialogue and fake machismo and shit. Dude, I'm fucking sick of these straight to DVD and Blu-ray movies. Oh my god, eventually I'm gonna lose my mind. But I can't really blame Willis here. I mean, Willis is just doing what he's doing to get a paycheck and get out of the way. But Kevin Dillon is trying to be badass, and it's fucking laughable, dude. And Grillo's trying. I mean, I give him sort of A for effort. But, dude, you're better than this shit. What the fuck you doing here, man? Damn. I mean, Bruce Willis has nothing left other than to get the paycheck, and Kevin Dillon, it ain't like Hollywood's knocking on his door anytime soon. So he's just taking whatever crappy script he can get. Oh, Lord. Only the savage survive? Yeah, that's if you make it through the fucking movie. Oh, my God. You might die of boredom. What the fuck? Oh, Lord. It's just another one of those mundane fucking straight to DVD and Blu-ray movies. And Lord knows we see enough of those things, and yet another one to add to the pile. Great, coming to a Dollar Tree near you very fucking soon. Honestly, $13.99? That is way too fucking high. You're goddamn right it is. I mean, the only thing entertaining to look at here is the fact of the cover. Can you believe this? Look at this, man. Like, something's wrong here. It's like it's too, like, glossy. It looks like they look like wax figures, and their heads are way too big for their bodies. Look at Kevin Dillon, man. Like, Kevin Dillon's head looks like a balloon. What the fuck, man? Literally, I could take that fucking head on a balloon ride, for fuck's sake. My God, man. Fuck the hot air balloon. Just take Kevin Dillon's head. Shit. God damn, dude. Like, their heads are way too big for their tiny bodies. Jeez, it looks like Kevin Dillon is a little kid with a giant cranium. Oh, do you want your juice box? I know you do, Kevin. I know you do. I know you. Once you finish the movie, I'll give you your juice box, yeah, and then you'll take a nappy. Oh, my God. You need it with this fucking movie. Oh, Lord, yeah. It ain't that hot, guys. So yet another Bruce Willis straight-to-DVD Blu-ray movie that is unimpressive. I bet you're real shocked. I know I am definitely not. When the moon is full, the curse of the werewolf comes out. in The Curse, the Blu-ray for $13.99. Finally getting to see this movie. Oh, dude. A classic horror monster. A brutal take. Oh, yeah, damn right it is. Oh, man. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to because I had heard so many wonderful things about this movie, man. People were praising this up and down. They were loving this new and interesting take on the werewolf genre, and I had to absolutely check it out. There was no doubt about it, man. I am a werewolf fan. I love all the different types of werewolf movies that are out there, so I definitely wanted to give this a go. Basically, it's this peaceful country village and these people that have settled there, but there's also these gypsies that live among them, and they're claiming the land, and instead of actually trying to get along with them and coming to some sort of compromise, they basically are like, no, we're not coming to a compromise, we're gonna kill them all. And so basically they just brutally kill these gypsies, bury them alive, and because of that there's a curse upon them and a curse upon the land, and the werewolf comes out when the curse is alive. Oh, indeed it is, man. And boy, oh boy, do people suffer. My God, do they. It is really good. I really like this movie a lot, man. It is gothic, it is dark, it is brutal, it is gory, bloody as hell. I love the werewolf design. It's unlike anything you've seen before. It's not your classic werewolf. It's something that's much more of a hybrid, but God, I really appreciate it, man. Really demented design, but I loved it, dude. And I love how you turn into it. Almost these vines and things coming out of your body and consuming you and turning you into the beast. It's so phenomenal, man. It's just really twisted, and I loved it, dude. Especially when that kid puts in the teeth and he's like gnawing on that kid's neck. You're like, oh my God, like you fear for like the little kids in here, man, because you're like, anybody can die at any time. Like there is nobody that is safe, and I love that. I really do, man. And as I said, it is bloody and gory, man. I mean, hands being chopped off, necks being gnawed on, you know, body parts being cut open. They do not hold back, dude. I love the characters. You get to know them, you get to sympathize with them, you get to understand them. The horror is really effective with really great creepy and atmospheric scares. I love this movie. This is a phenomenal flick, man. It really is well worth diving into. I mean, it's not like a lot of the werewolf movies out there where there's kind of tongue-in-cheek quality to it, like something like The Howling or American Werewolf in London, something like that. I mean, those movies are great, but this movie is much more gothic. It takes sort of the gothic tones of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and puts it into a werewolf flick, and it's really well done. It really honestly is, man. I loved every single second of this. I thought it was brilliant, and I love the story wrapped around here, because at first you think what you're watching is a straightforward tale, and then when you realize that what they're doing with the storytelling ideas and how it wraps together in the end, it's actually fucking brilliant, dude. I love the idea of the teeth and of the silver bullet and the idea of the curse and how it affects you and how it consumes you and takes you over, and you don't realize what you're doing, that you're inside this creature, and your own mind is not even yours anymore. It's fucking awesome, dude. It really honestly is. I loved it. I just love the idea of the sins of the elders is the curse of the young, and I think it's phenomenal, dude. I think it's great. The acting is really amazing here. Everybody gives it their all. They're not yucking this up or laughing this up. They're taking this completely seriously. It is a really dark and gritty werewolf tale, and it is really awesome. It's not your typical werewolf tale. It's not the thing that you've seen time and again. It's something a little different, something a little offbeat, but it's done in a really great way, and I think it's fucking brilliant, dude. The Curse is really amazing, man. It really is, and if you get a chance to watch it, please do it, dude, because Like I said, I love a lot of different werewolf movies out there. The kitschy comedic kind, the more brutal action kind. I mean, there's been so many ones that have been done in the past. Like, you have Underworld. That's a whole nother beast unto itself. You have the horror comedy stuff. You have the old school stuff like The Wolfman. And then you have something like this that takes the modern sensibilities and even the old school ideas like The Wolfman and combines it into something really unique, bizarre, but a really great ride, man. It's a thrilling movie, it's scary, it's creepy, and it's everything I wanted and so much more, dude. If you're looking for a new and interesting way to update the werewolf tale, The Cursed is right up your alley. And just when you think you had enough, hey, they have a little Scream Factory 4K love, right? The collector's editions of The Craft and Escape from New York, both 4K love for $29.99. Oh man, do I love these movies. These are fucking phenomenal. Welcome to the witching hour. Damn right. Oh, this is so good. I love The Craft, man. I used to have, back in the day, no lie, huge crush on Fairuza Balk, man. I really did. I don't know, it was the goth thing, dude. It really was. I was like, oh my god, this chick is so hot. I'm so out of her league. But if she'd only give me a chance, I know I'm not Bobby Boucher, the water boy, but if she'd only give me a chance. I really would, man, I wish. Oh, Lord. I thought it was really great. It is kind of like a Supernatural Heathers. That really is true, man. I love the camaraderie with the girls. I love how they're all kind of misfits in their own way, and they find each other and they grow this bond. And through being a teenager and how teenagers are, the greed, the selfishness that basically it tears the group apart, and suddenly good witches versus bad witches, and they have to fight one another in an ultimate battle to supremacy. I love it, man. I think it's such a great movie. I love the effects. Yeah, it's a little bit cheesy now looking back on it, but I still really dig it, man. I think the characters are memorable here. I love the spells of like, I want this guy to love me, and then they realize that, oh my god, it turns into like obsession, and like the spell goes way too far, and then like Fairuza Balk turns into like Robin Tunney and tries to make out and have sex with the guy. I love that shit, dude. It's so good. I love it, man. I still have a ball watching this. I know they made the Craft sequel, which, what a hot piece of garbage that is, man. But the original is fucking aces, man. On 4K, that is probably solid. And the special features are pretty cool, too. Not bad. Of course, if that's classic, then this is one of the best. John Carpenter's Escape from New York, baby. The year is 1997. New York City is a walled maximum security prison. Breaking out is impossible. Breaking in is insane. Yes. Oh my god, do I love this movie, man. Snake motherfucking Plissken, baby. Snake. One of Kurt Russell's best roles of all time, man. And this was one of the first memorable ones that he ever did. And it is still fucking aces to this day. It really honestly is. Kurt is badass as a motherfucker here. He is fucking awesome. I love him in this role, dude. Whether it's this one early in his career or later on when he did LA, he is fucking phenomenal here. I love Donald Pleasance in this. I love that scene where Isaac Hayes is torturing him, and he's got like the blonde wig on and the makeup. You're A number one. I'm like, how the fuck did Carpenter ever have him do that? God damn it, dude. Like this thespian. They're really doing that. It's great. I love Isaac Hayes here as the bad guy. He's so good. He's so like seedy and creepy and menacing. I love him in this movie, man. Adrienne Barbeau is fucking awesome here as well. She's fantastic here. Dude, I think this is a phenomenal movie, man. It is so amazing. The score for this, I love the action here. I mean, it's a cheap movie, but somehow Carpenter was able to really utilize that to his benefit. And I think he was able to make a really gritty, down and dirty action flick that reminds you of sort of stuff back in the day from like The Dirty Dozen or some shit, right? But like a little bit more sci-fi and gritty and badass, dude. It's so fucking phenomenal. I love this movie. I love the premise of this island, and all the bad people go to this island, and it's all the meanest of the mean motherfuckers, and he has to go and rescue the president. Yeah, fucking phenomenal. I love that shit. The visuals are great here. The dialogue is badass. And dude, Snake Plissken is a fucking great anti-hero. He is really fucking phenomenal, dude. This is an amazing movie. One of John Carpenter's best films, and there is no doubt about that. That is for damn sure, dude. And the special features are fucking aces as well. Awesome, man. So cool. I mean, both of these are phenomenal movies. And on 4K for $30 with all the great special features, that is pretty solid as well. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. More Scream Factory goodness. Who can deny it, baby? So good. Great. I mean, they've got that. They've got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. They've got the RoboCop one down here as well. Oh, yeah, they finally have this, too. Back in stock, man. RoboCop, one badass motherfucker as well, dude. I'd buy that for $1. You bet your ass I would. Oh, dude, more alligator goodness. Of course, The Howling as well. They've got some good stuff here. Maybe not everything I was hoping for, but pretty damn close. Not bad at all, man. Definitely digging it this week. Let's head out. So we really did save the best for last. Seriously, man. Holy shit. Like, it kind of baffles me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, man. So, like, there are certain weeks where it is phenomenal here at Best Buy. Absolutely amazing. They blow it out of the park. Who'd have thunk? And then there's other weeks where literally it just stays on the cart and you don't ever get to see it on the actual shelves, and you have to pull it out and just try to find whatever the fuck you can. I can't predict week to week, guys. I wish I could, man. I wish I had a crystal ball that I knew exactly what I was walking myself into, but I have no idea, man. I only wish I had a crystal ball. I mean, come on, man. If I did, I would so take advantage of that as a physical media lover. There's no doubt about that, baby. Seriously, man. Oh, let me tell you, man, you just never know what's going to happen week to week at any of the stores, and this is definitely proof positive of it in a big bad way. It really honestly is, man. But look, Best Buy did have a lot of love for physical this week. I mean, they had the new release goodness, they had Steelbook love, they had the boutique label madness. Not half bad. Now, mind you, it is kind of weird that out of the 3 main stores, we literally did not find any single copy of Licorice Pizza. Literally, not a single goddamn one, man. That is weird. Like, it's a pretty high-profile indie flick, and it's nowhere to be found. I thought, well, if we didn't see it one place or the other, we would have definitely seen it here at the Beast, but yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Maybe next week? Of course. Why wouldn't it? Oh man, but regardless, they still had a lot of physical media love to check out. Even if they didn't have all of the love I wanted, they definitely had enough to keep me going. That is for damn sure, and I know it did for you as well. All the good physical media love was on display, and as a physical media lover, I definitely appreciate it. I know you do as well, but how about we end our journey, head home, and finish the video. Alright everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week, and it was an interesting physical media week. I mean, we got a decent variety, all things considered, right? But don't you think it could have been a wee bit better, all things considered? I mean, look, I understand more than most the fact that if you go on Blu-ray.com, there is so many things that get released within a week's time period, right? That physical media Tuesday week, there is so many things that is available to buy, and not all of them hit a store shelf, right? I mean, if you really think about it, not even 25% of the stuff that comes out week to week ever makes it to an actual retail store shelf, right? Yes, I know that some things are more readily available than others. Things are more popular. People are more interested in other things. Some just aren't really deserving to be on a store shelf, and vice versa. Okay, fair enough, right? But if you've noticed in the past couple of weeks, it has been a bit of a struggle to find some physical media love out there at some of the stores. And at the time, I just sort of chalked it up to luck of the draw, right? Sometimes you're able to find stuff, sometimes you're not. Some employees actually put the physical media love out in the store shelves, and other times, well, they just didn't get the stuff in. Fair enough, I get it, but this week really highlighted it in a big bad way. I mean, yes, the third week of not getting any Walmart indie love, that alone is weird, but the fact that certain movies didn't even get a chance to be on any store shelves, even though they're pretty big enough titles that they should have at least had some physical media love out there. I mean, think about Licorice Pizza, right? Now, yes, I know it's not a big blockbuster title like Infinite is. Sure, if that's the definition of a big blockbuster title, fair enough, man. But if you think about it, with something like Licorice Pizza, it's directed by a high-profile director. It's got a decent cast, and for the most part, it was a well-known indie title that was in a decent amount of movie theaters at the time it was released. So, why? Why didn't it get any physical media love? I mean, there was no copies at any stores. I mean, not even a space for it. They just decided not to carry the damn thing. And that really pisses me off, man. It really, ticks me off just a wee bit. It really does, man. And, you know, the problem is that physical media, as I've said for a long time, is not guaranteed in stores. We'd like to think that all of these titles, they should easily be in a store shelf, right? There should be a physical copy at these stores, and I agree. But a lot of these stores don't really believe in physical copies unless it's a big blockbuster, in-your-face title with major stars in it that they can brand and put in front of your eyeballs. And if it's not that, then 90% of the time, they're not going to put it out or not even care to order it. And that's a crying shame, dude. I mean, we live in a world now where digital is overtaking everything. And a lot of these stores, their argument is going to be, well, physical media just doesn't sell the way it used to. So we can't really put all the titles out there that you want us to do. It's just not viable. And my argument to them is just like the Field of Dreams argument, right? If you build it, they will come. If you put it out, they will buy it. People want to buy stuff. They want to buy something that really looks interesting with unique art and something that really stands out to them. But if you don't even give them the option, then they're gonna look elsewhere for it. And if you look at digital sales, even physical media digital sites, like you look at Amazon.com and you look at Orbit and Diabolic DVD and a lot of these other companies, and I love them. Don't get me wrong. I order through these online stores. I definitely do. But the reason why a lot of times that I order from these stores is the fact that they're not in a physical media retail place in order for me to buy them. So I have no other choice. And so even though I would love to go to a Best Buy or go to a Target or a Walmart and put my money down and pay for it, I can't do that. And so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'd love to have it at a physical retail store so I can actually buy it and hold it in my hand and see it. But I have no choice to buy the other way around because that's the only way that it's available to me. And so it is a shame, man. And I don't think it's going to get any better. I think it's going to get tougher as the years go on. I mean, I remember back in the day that it was so plentiful. I would go into Media Play and Circuit City and FYE and all these other places, and I would see physical media new releases galore. I mean, back in the day, Best Buy, Walmart, man, they were flowing with it, overflowing. It was tremendous. And yeah, it's just not the reality anymore. Not even close. And so I think my prediction And it seems kind of grim to say this, okay? But I gotta be honest with you guys. I think in the next like 5 years or so, I think that physical media is almost, to a certain extent, going to be non existent at some of these retail outlets. I mean, it already kind of is to a certain extent, and I don't think it's going to get any better. Unless it's a big blockbuster movie, big summer blockbuster, big Oscar award nominated movie, these companies just aren't going to be interested in putting it in the retail shelves, and the stores aren't really going to care about it because they care about selling units. And if they see the fact that, oh, well, it's not like this big superhero flick, or it's not this big disaster CGI blockbuster, then what's the point? And that's a damn shame. Look, Amazon will always be there. A lot of these online retail places will always be there. The digital companies will have their day, obviously. But it just shames me because I love checking out the physical media in the stores. And I'm always trying to do my best for you guys. And when there's not as much physical media love out there, I do feel bad. I do feel like in some ways maybe I'm letting you guys down. I know it's not my fault at the end of the day, but it still hurts. The fact that we should find some of the Steelbook love at Best Buy, we don't. You would think Target would have a little bit more of these titles like a Licorice Pizza, but they don't. You wish that Walmart would always be putting out the physical media because it's Walmart, right? It's one of the biggest store retailers of all time. And the fact that they don't do it. And so availability is going to get tough. I think that variety is going to get tough. And it's already kind of there, and it's not going to get any better. Look, I hope that I'm wrong at the end of the day. I hope that these retail stores prove me wrong. But I don't fully see that happening. There will be certain weeks where we will see so much physical media out there. We're literally just amazed at everything that we see out there. It's tremendous. It's phenomenal. We will see that. But most weeks, it will be a struggle to find more variety out there. You'll see the same thing over and over and over again, and not much newer stuff that really breaks through. Or, smaller indie flicks that really break through. It's gonna be tough out there, guys, and we just have to brace for it. It's a shame, but it's honestly the truth. And so, look, I was disappointed this week. I was a little ticked off the fact that no store had Licorice Pizza. We didn't get any of the high-profile indie weirdness out there that I know could have been on store shelves at one of the stores or another. And we just couldn't get any of that stuff. Look, it's not easy being a physical media lover out there, man. It really isn't, because you really have to do your due diligence to not only look in the stores, but also look online. Because if you just rely on one over the other, you're not going to get all the things out there that you want. It really is a all hands on deck approach of finding physical media out there. If you only went to the retail stores, you wouldn't know everything out there that exists. If you only did the online stuff, maybe some things would pass you by. You really have to be a well-rounded physical media lover to really get the full effect of being a collector and being a fan of physical media. And so it's not easy out there. It's not going to get any easier. I'm a physical media fan, so I do my due diligence to check it all out. But at the end of the day, sometimes if it's not there, it's really heartbreaking. Because you know that it would be really cool if they had it on the shelves. If people actually got an opportunity to see it, because a lot of people aren't like you and I, right? They don't go online and check out, oh, what's the new physical media releases of the week? I want to know what it is. Most people don't do that. Most people get their fix by going into these stores and seeing what's there. And if it's not in the store shelves, then they don't know about it. and therefore they never get a chance to see it or experience it or give it a chance. I'm just saying, man, physical media is precious. Movies are precious. And sometimes to miss out on certain things is a real shame. I'm just throwing it out there. As physical media lovers, you know what I'm saying, but the struggle is real. The struggle is majorly real, man, and it ain't getting any easier. So if you're a physical media fan, it's a jungle out there. It really honestly is, but you have to do your due diligence because the retail stores aren't doing it for you. Yeah, I have been feeling the pain a bit, but this week definitely brought it home in a big bad way. So I suppose we'll have to wait and see how it all turns out, but yeah, we'll see how that one goes, guys. I don't got a lot of hope. But look, I definitely wanted to talk about it because I just had to honestly get it off my chest, man. I really did. But let me know what you think about that. But also, hey, look, all things considered, there was some decent stuff out there. Not everything I'd hoped for, but maybe you found more. Definitely let me know what you picked up. As far as I'm concerned, well, I did get a few things worth talking about. That's for damn sure, man. A few things through online retailers, but well worth the get. That is for damn sure, man. Oh, not bad for what I got. Let me show you what the first thing I got, and that is none other than Orange County. Look at this. It's not just a movie. It's a state of mind. Oh, you're damn right it is. Oh, man, I love this movie. When Paramount announced that they were putting out a Blu-ray edition of Orange County, I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen this thing in forever, man. I used to love this film. Colin Hanks, Jack Black. It was really funny, quirky. I had a ball with this film, man. Really great little sort of high school coming-of-age comedy. Wacky hijinks, and I really dig this film. I haven't re-watched this thing in ages, but I definitely wanted this in the collection, man. This is, I think, one of Jack Black's underrated movies. Colin Hanks is extremely likable, sort of the everyman. I dig this. I dig the romance aspects to this, the sort of quirky dialogue, sort of the friendship angle to all of it, brotherly love. It's a great little movie, man. Not many people talk about this. I mean, when you think about Jack Black, you don't really talk about Orange County. And as far as like coming of age high school comedies go, this one tends to be on the back burner too. Not many people really go out of their way to talk about this, but it is pretty damn solid, man. And I actually forgot that this is from 2002. It's literally 20 years old. Like, oh my god. I forgot it's been that long since this thing came out, man. The fact that it's 20 years old, dude, that makes me old as a motherfucker. Like, seriously. Like, I graduated high school in 2001. This film came out a year after that. Dude. Man, I knew I was getting gray hairs, but it didn't really hit me until I realized Orange County is 20 years old, man. Holy shit. Oh my lord, dude. Wow, this is definitely one that is absolutely worth the revisit, and I am dying to check it out. I really honestly am, man. Wow, blast from the past, but I think I'm gonna dig this one yet again, man. I really am. Definitely wanted to give it a go. That's for damn sure. Not bad, man. That was pretty solid of a pickup. But this one was even more of a get that I wanted. No doubt about this. This one I absolutely needed for the collection. And that is a little bit of comedy hijinks of Top Secret. Oh, look at this. Val Kilmer for the makers of Airplane. Oh, look at that. So good. Oh, phenomenal, man. I love this movie. When this got announced, I was over the moon. You have no idea because I love this movie. Look, I am a fan of spoof movies in one way or another, right? I mean, Airplane is fantastic. The Naked Gun series, phenomenal. Not Another Teen Movie. The first couple of Scary movies, okay, not bad, right? And there's a few things here and there, some of the Mel Brooks stuff out there, Leslie Nielsen stuff, okay. But in recent years, the whole like spoof genre has kind of been on a downward spiral, hasn't it? I mean, a lot of those like terrible movies like Date Movie and Superhero Movie and some of the later scary movies, it's been a real shit fest. It has, man. It hasn't been good, all right? And I kind of feel like the ones back in the day are so much more better, so much more classic, and they knew how to do it in a much more entertaining and satisfying way than the stuff we're getting now. And Top Secret is one of the best examples of it. Yes, it's not the most popular, but I think it deserves to be in the conversation. I love the visual gags in this movie, and I love the acting. They're trying to play it serious, and that's where the comedy sort of comes from. Because if you'll notice, sometimes when you're trying to be too funny, it comes off as forced, and it doesn't work as well. But when you have actors like this that are trying to play it straight, and you get those hilarious, awkward moments from that, I think it really works, man. And I think it works brilliantly. And I think that's what the Zucker brothers knew really well. And a lot of those great artists out there that were really doing these spoof movies at the time. And I gotta give it up for Val Kilmer, man. Dude, the guy has charm for days on end, man. He really does. And I think this was his first, like, major leading role. And the fact that it was a little spoof movie like this says a lot. It really honestly does, man. But he's incredibly likable here. Yes, he's sometimes playing it kind of stupid, but sort of like in an idiot savant kind of way, man. But being serious about it, but also kind of being naive at the same time. It works so well, man. And he's so good in this movie. Dude, it's really fantastic, man. And I haven't revisited this in years, man. I used to watch it like crazy back in the VHS days. And I'm so glad that this got the Blu-ray treatment. I really am, man. And good special features, audio commentary, some featurettes. I mean, I thought it was just going to be bare bones, which would have been fine because I would have still bought it. But the fact that they put some effort into actually putting some actual like special features on there, that's pretty cool too, man. You know, look, not every spoof movie is created equal. All right, let's be real here. But I think the ones back in the day were a real treat, and you just can't make them like you used to back in the day. And Top Secret is one of those movies that really proves it. Oh, so good. Oh, so amazing, man. I'm so glad to finally have this in the collection, man. I love this movie. And this is well worth a revisit. That is for damn sure. Not half bad on that. A little bit of comedy love. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. But that's not all because, well, I also got a few packages in the mail as well. The first, from overseas, a little bit of royal mail. And you want to know what? Here's the deal. This is how bad it's gotten now, guys, because I've literally pre-ordered so many titles. I've pre-ordered so many things that when this came in the mail, I was looking at this and I was like, wait a minute. What did I get from 101 Films? What did I order? Because I was like, what the hell is this, man? And then I was thinking, I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I got. And I had to rack my brain like a motherfucker. I'm serious, man. It was bad. It was really bad. I was like, what the hell was it? So now that I finally remembered what it was, I'm really glad that I pre-ordered this thing, dude. Once I actually remembered, you know, my old man brain. Oh, dude. This movie, I love this movie. It's one of those old school action sci-fi flicks that was cool at the time that it came out and hasn't really aged that well, and not many people talk about it, especially when it comes to like a particular actor in this. I mean, they appreciate the movie, but it's not his most high profile movie. nor is it the most memorable one, but it's still really fun and has some really great sci-fi adventure vibes to it. But it's never gotten a really great physical media release. It's never really had one of those really great releases where you're like, oh, this really highlights the film and really gives it a really great showcase. And 101 Films finally did it, man. And I was like, whoa, for this movie, this is cool. So I definitely had to get it, man, because I do love the movie. Warts and all, the fact that it hasn't aged that well, it doesn't really matter if you still dig the movie, and I definitely do, man. Glad 101 Films definitely put this little underrated sci-fi adventure gem out. Not bad at all, man. Not bad indeed. But that's not all, because I also picked up a little bit more package love, more overseas goodness as well. I mean, yes, I've already opened it, but I couldn't actually wait because I wanted to check it out. The fact that I finally got it. I love this. This is a really phenomenal piece of entertainment, man. I mean, the fact that it worked shocks the living shit out of me. I was not expecting this to work at all. I'm like thinking to myself, we're going from the big screen to the small screen, and usually when that happens, nothing good comes of it. But the fact that they pulled it off with this is amazing, dude. Some horror icons can transition quite well, and this dude did it pretty damn seamlessly. Not bad at all, man. And when this got announced, I was like, I had to pick it up, man. I don't always pick up special editions through Zavi, but this one definitely was begging me to pick it up in a big bad way, man. I love this horror icon. I own all of the movies, and I might as well own this as well. Not half bad, man. So a little bit of package love, which ain't half bad. Of course, you guys will not get to find out exactly what I picked up until my May pickups, which will be shown eventually down the line. And man, I got a lot of really great stuff. Boutique label love, new release goodness, surprises galore. Ooh, not half bad, man. It'll be well worth it. Indeed it will. So you got a little bit of package love, and of course, not to be outdone, a little bit of comedy stylings as well. Ooh, the physical media was definitely good for me this week. And before I let you guys go, I gotta talk about this. Now, no, it's not a news article or info dump about the streaming wars. No, none of that. It's about a letter that I got in the P.O. box this week. Now, there was nothing else in the P.O. box. It was just a letter, which kind of piqued my interest because I'm like, what is this exactly? Usually I get a package from you guys, not exactly a single letter. So it definitely piqued my interest in a big bad way. So when I opened it, the first thing I noticed was a $15 Fandango gift card, which, hey, cool, I'll take it, no doubt. But then I saw a letter. And honestly, as cool as the $15 is, the letter is even cooler. Let me read it to you, shall I? Dear Film Fan 108, your channel rocks. You are the most caring guy on YouTube, and you are in my top 25 favorite channels to watch on YouTube. Thank you very much. Mind you, I'm probably number 25, but shit, I'll take it. I watch all your videos on YouTube from my Fire Stick. I don't use a computer, but your videos give me a purpose to live, and you are such a cool dude. I couldn't get through this pandemic if it wasn't for your channel. Please enjoy a movie on me. This card is about 2 years old, but I want you to have it. Aquaman was the last movie I saw in theaters, and I only see movies when they come out on physical media. Your friend always, Stephen Hodges. Stephen, first of all, I want to thank you for sending this. The $15 gift card is cool, and I'll definitely cherish it, but it's the letter that really is the thing that I'm going to cherish even more. When I first read this, I actually kind of choked up a little bit. And actually, shit, I'm starting to choke up now. You know, when I started doing this YouTube channel, I did it out of my love for movies. And I never once in a million years ever thought that anyone else was going to share my passion or actually like the videos that I did or even care about what I was talking about. I did it because I just like movies enough that I want to talk about them. And the fact that a lot of you have come with me on this journey is wild to me. Absolutely wild. And I couldn't have ever imagined that I would have the type of people support me that I have. And you guys have been absolutely amazing. And I couldn't think of better people to support me than all of you out there who are watching this video. I'm dead serious, man. I don't know you. I don't know anything about your personal life, the struggles that you're going through, the happiness that you have. I don't know any of that. But I feel like you and I are connected in a big bad way. I really honestly do, man. And it's because of you guys out there that make me want to continue to do this. You have no idea the struggles that I've had to deal with doing this channel and how many times I have been on the brink of giving up. There have been moments where I've literally almost said fuck it and just stopped doing them. And the reason why I've come back to it is not because of my love of movies, which is huge and tremendous. It's because of you guys out there. I have had some amazing people send me messages and notes and comments talking about how they love the channel and they love how I talk about movies and that this is a real great getaway for them to watch the channel and watch my videos. And they'll either be doing homework when they watch them, or they're in the military and they love the videos and it's a great entertainment value for them. Other people like Steven really felt like these were important videos and great entertainment in really challenging times. And man, you have no idea. You have no idea how much of a fucking pick me up that is, dude. You have no idea how much that picks me up, man. Because, you know, I never think that what I do actually really matters. I really don't. And every time I upload a video or I edit something or I'm planning on doing a video or something with the guys, I'm always thinking to myself, is anybody really going to care? Is anybody really going to watch this stuff? And the fact that you guys have, man, blows my mind. It just blows it away so much. And I just can't say thank you enough. I can't say thank you enough to each and every one of you. I mean, it's letters like this and it's the support from you guys that is really astounding to me and mind-blowing, and I cherish it. I cherish it so much. You have no idea, man, how much I cherish this. This is the stuff that lasts a lifetime. It really honestly does, man. And I keep all of these. I keep them all, man, because it's from you guys. You guys go out of your way to send stuff and give me moments of your time. The fact that you went out of your way to write this, the fact that you took time out of your day to think about this and send it to me speaks volumes. And I can't thank you enough, man. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for free copies, you know, from studios. I do this because I care about movies and I care about physical media and I care about you guys out there. You are one of the driving forces of this channel. And I have been privileged to have been on YouTube for this long so far, and the reason why I've survived even this long is because of the support of all of you. And yeah, I'm thankful that I've picked you guys up in ways that I could have never imagined. And the fact that I've given you entertainment value, but it's really you guys that have lifted me up through tough times. And this is just another example of you really lifting me up. You know, sometimes you really just want to give up, and sometimes you don't have the energy to go on any longer. And then I get letters like this that really mean more to me than you could have ever possibly imagined. And this is a pure pick-me-up. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. Really, truly, thank you, because you know, it is a privilege and it is an honor to do these videos for you guys. And yes, I'm not the most popular YouTuber out there. I don't do, 3-4 videos a week. I don't have tens of thousands of subscribers. I'm a small YouTuber. In the grand scheme of things, I'm not that popular. But yet, we found each other. And even if I only get a small amount of you that ever really support me, that ever really watch the videos, I'm okay with that. Because even if it's only a little bit of support, it's more support than I thought I'd ever get in the entire world. And I'm just a very easygoing physical media fan in my small corner of the world. And if I've done even a little bit of my due diligence in giving you some support in these trying times, then that's all I'll ever need in this life. So thank you so much. Honestly, beyond words, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And Steven, beyond words, dude, I'm so glad that I've given you this chance to find a way out of these tough times and the pandemic, and the fact that you went out of your way to really write this is astounding to me. And so I am going to hold on to this. I'm going to cherish this. I've shown this to my girlfriend. I've shown this to my mother, and I am so proud to have shown this letter to them, because it's moments like this that really make me happy that I even did this in the first place. You know, I'm just a guy that loves movies, and the fact that people have come along with me on this journey means more to me than you'll ever know. Thank you, man. Seriously. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you. I didn't want to get sentimental, but I got it. This is amazing. And sometimes a letter is very powerful and really says it all. And this letter really does, man. Thank you. Thank you indeed, dude. And thank you to all of you, man, who have gone out of your way to support me. It's phenomenal. You know, I could end now and be a very happy camper, but more movies to check out, more things to discover, and, more bullshit to spew. So, I ain't leaving anytime soon, but if I were to, I'd at least know that I did some good in this world. And that ain't half bad. That ain't half bad at all, man. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. You have no idea how much it means to me, man. And hopefully you loved this video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos that I do. Movie reviews with my friends. Movie hunting. Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, all of the older content and newer content that is on the way. If you love how I talk about movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my really great subscribers out there. You guys are amazing and awesome. You give me the love and support, and hopefully I give it right back to you. So if you love how I talk about all of that movie gold, then definitely hit subscribe. Click that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I make a video. Also, keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you would like to send the channel any movie-related love, care packages, physical media, movie posters, simple letters of support, you can definitely do it. The P.O. Box is in the description below. It is not expected, but it's definitely appreciated. You guys have said to me, hey, we'd love to send you something. Where do we send it? The P.O. Box is where it's at. So I definitely look forward to where the P.O. Box adventures take me next. But I suppose that is the end of the video. It has been a wild ride of physical media love yet again. And let's hope the train continues even further with even more media to check out. I will see you back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD Out and About video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.